The kitchen clock ticks past 8. I'm still sitting here, staring at the table I set hours ago. It's my 38th birthday, and the apartment feels too big, too quiet. This morning, I spent hours arranging everything. Clean plates, polished, glasses, a centerpiece of white lilies I picked up because they looked hopeful. In the middle of the table sits a bottle of my favorite whiskey, unopened, its amber glow catching the light from the chandelier. I thought someone would show up. My parents, a cousin, at least Selena. But the doorbell never rang. The silence feels like a guest I never invited. I lean back in my chair, the leather creaking beneath me, trying to shake off the weight in my chest. I don't usually throw myself pity parties, but this one's hard to ignore. I'm a software engineer, good at solving problems, breaking things down into logic and code. But this I can't debug. No one came. No one even called. I check. My phone again. Nothing. Just a blank screen, like it's disappointed in me too. I hover my thumb over Selena's name and hit dial before I can think better of it. The line rings. Once, twice. Then her voice. Julian? Oh, hold on. I'm in. Europe. With your brother. Europe. With Brooks. The words hit like a punch I never saw coming. I grip the phone tighter. She's laughing, casual, like she didn't just leave me sitting here alone on my birthday. Then another voice joins. Smooth, smug. Why bother, man? She's going to divorce. You soon, anyway. Brooks. His words hang there, heavy, like they've been waiting in the air for months. I say nothing. Can't. My throat is tight. The room shrinks around me. Divorce? Is that what this is? Is that why she's been distant? Why she's always with him? I hang up. My hand trembles as I set the phone down. The apartment is even. Quieter now, if that's possible. I sit, staring at the bottle in the center of the table, trying to make sense of this. My brother, always the star, the one who gets the spotlight, and now, apparently, my wife. I think about calling my parents, but I already know where they are. A gala, a golf trip, something glamorous, too busy to remember their other son, the one who's just good with computers. I rub my eyes, tired of feeling like this, tired of waiting for people who never show up. Then a knock, soft, hesitant. My heart leaps. Maybe Selena changed her mind. Maybe someone remembered. I walk to the door, socks silent on the hardwood, and open it. Miriam, my old mentor from university. She's standing there with a bouquet of daisies and a smile that feels like a lifeline. Happy birthday, Julian. I step aside and she walks in. Something shifts in me. She's here. She chose to be. We sit at the table. She talks about her retirement, her new apartment, how she's learning to bake. I pour us each a glass of whiskey and the burn feels good. Grounding. We talk. And for the first time tonight, I'm not thinking about who didn't show up. I'm just here, with her, and it's enough. Later, when she's laughing about her, cat knocking flour everywhere, I pick up my phone, not to check for messages, not to call anyone, just to take a photo. Me and Miriam, smiling, the lilies in the background, the whiskey between us. I send it to Selena. No caption. No explanation. Then I turn the phone off face down. I don't need her response. Not tonight. Miriam slices into a lemon pie she brought, and something I haven't felt in a long time rises quietly. Peace. The silence isn't heavy anymore. Just quiet. Like a blank page. It's 2:29 p.m. and I'm sitting at my desk 2 weeks before my birthday. The only light in the room is the dull glow of my computer screen. The apartment's quiet, like it's been most nights lately. I'm scrolling through emails, trying to focus on work, but that familiar ache in my chest makes it hard. Selena's out again. Some work event, she said. I don't ask anymore. I already know she won't tell me the truth, and I'm too tired. to chase it. My birthday's coming up. No one's mentioned it. Not her, not my parents, not even a coworker. I don't want to party or anything, but the idea of another year passing unnoticed stings more than I want to admit. I lean back, run my hands through my hair, and stare at the ceiling. I need to do something different this time. Something that matters. That's when I think of Miriam, my old mentor from college, the one person who always saw me, not just as a coder, but as someone with ideas, someone worth listening to. We haven't talked in years, not since she moved away after I graduated. But I heard she's back in the city, retired now. My fingers hover over my phone. Before I can talk myself out of it, I find her number and call. She picks up on the second ring. Her voice is warm and familiar, like no time has passed. "Julian? What a surprise," she says. Just hearing her say my name makes me feel steadier. We talk for a bit, about her new place, my job, and then I blurt it out. "I'm turning 38 soon. I want to have a small dinner. Just a few people. Would you come?" There's a pause. I hold my breath. "I'd love to," she says. "Tell me when and where." I hang up feeling lighter, like I've taken a step towards something real. The night of my birthday, I'm standing in my apartment. The table's set with plates I polished myself. A bottle of whiskey I picked out weeks ago waits at the center. It's past 7. No one's here. Not Selena. Not my family. I've been trying not to check my phone, but I can't help it. Still no messages. I called Selena earlier. She laughed, said she was in Europe with Brooks. I heard his smug voice cut in, something about divorce. I hung up. I sent a photo to Miriam, then turned off my phone. That part of my life is done now. I'm trying to shake off the hurt when the doorbell rings. Soft, but clear. My heart lifts. It's Miriam, standing there with a bouquet of daisies and a foil-covered dish that smells like lemon and sugar. "Happy birthday," she says, her eyes crinkling in a smile that feels like home. I step aside and let her in. The weight I've been carrying all day starts to loosen. She finds a vase, one I didn't even know I had, and tells me she's been experimenting with baking. "This is lemon pie," she says, uncovering the dish. "I hope it's edible." I laugh, surprised at the sound. We sit at the table. I pour 2 glasses of whiskey. She raises hers. "To you, Julian. To the man who builds things that matter, even when nobody's watching." Her words hit me hard, not because they're fancy, but because they're true. She sees me, the way I've always wanted to be seen. And for the first time tonight, I feel like I'm enough. We talk about everything. Her teaching days, my latest project, how the city's changed. She tells me about a student who reminded her of me, quiet but fierce. I tell her about the hospital software and how it's saved lives. It's not bragging, it's just easy with her. I don't have to prove anything. The whiskey burns smooth. The pie is better than she gave herself credit for. Tart and sweet all at once. Hours pass. I don't even notice. I'm not thinking about Selena or Brooks or my parents. I'm just here, with someone who showed up when no one else did. Later, when we're clearing the plates, I pick up my phone without thinking and snap. A photo of us, my arm around her shoulder. We're both smiling, the whiskey bottle and daisies in the background. I don't plan to send it. It's just for me. But then I think of Selena, of her laugh on the phone. And I send the photo. No words, just the image. Not to make her jealous. Not to get even. To close a door. To say I don't need her to make this day matter. It's the morning after my birthday. I'm at the kitchen table, empty whiskey glasses, half-eaten pie, drooping daisies. The quiet feels different now. Softer. My phone's been off since I sent that photo. I'm not ready to turn it back on. I sip coffee from my favorite mug and think about last night. How Miriam stayed until midnight. How she reminded me who I am. The guy who used to dream big before he got caught trying to please everyone. Then the phone buzzes. I forgot I turned it on for a second to check work email. 10 missed calls, now 20, then 30, all from Selena. I let it go to voicemail, then come the texts. Who is she? Answer me. This isn't funny. I smile, not out of happiness, out of recognition. She's not upset that she wasn't here. She's mad about the photo, about the idea that I'm not waiting for her. And I'm not. I think about Miriam, how she showed up, how she didn't need me to be anything but myself. We talked about dreams, about how I used to want to build more than software. "You're already doing that, Julian," she said. "You just stop believing it." Her words felt like a key in a lock I didn't know existed. I walked to the window. The city is waking up. I've been surviving here, not living, working long hours, coming home to an empty apartment, waiting for Selena, for my family, for someone to notice me. But last night, across from Miriam, I realized I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to be the guy who waits for people who don't care. My phone buzzes again. Another voicemail. I don't listen. This time I turn it off completely. I shove it into a drawer like I'm locking away a distraction. She's been gone for months, maybe longer. I've just been too stubborn to admit it. I think about Brooks, too. His smug comment about divorce. Maybe it is a done deal, but if it's over, it's going to be on my terms. I start cleaning up, washing glasses, drying them, putting them away. It feels grounding, like clearing, space for something new. Miriam talked about integrity last night, about how love is a choice, a commitment to show up. I haven't had that from Selena or my family, but I had it last night. I sit back down and stare at the pie. I cut a slice, even though it's barely 9 a.m. It's honest. Like last night. I eat slowly, letting the silence settle. I don't know exactly what comes next, but I know I can't stay here. I need to move, to build, to find people who see me the way Miriam does. I think about my software, the lives it's touched. Maybe it's time to stop hiding behind the code. Time to own what I've done. I finish the pie. Lean back. The day stretches out in front of me, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like a beginning. I don't need Selena's calls, or Brooks' comments, or my parents' approval. I need me. I open my laptop. A new document. Not code, just a blank page. I don't know what I'll write, but it feels like a step towards something I need. A week later, I'm surrounded by boxes, books, photos, that favorite coffee mug. I'm moving out, not because I can't afford to stay, but because I won't live in a museum of a life I don't want anymore. Selena's still in Europe, hasn't come home. I'm not waiting. Not anymore. This reads like a reflective, emotionally charged narrative tracing a personal transformation, from betrayal and emotional detachment to self-assertion and renewal. The unnamed narrator is reclaiming agency, not just in relationships, but in their identity, career, and purpose. It's full of subtle character moments and a sense of realism grounded in small details, chipped mugs, loft sunlight, unread messages. There's a quiet power in how they distance themselves from the past, not out of rage but resolve. If you'd like, I can help turn this into a short story or structure it into a novel chapter with pacing and thematic arcs. Would that interest you? I smile faintly and shake my head. I've spent so long being the quiet one, the guy who fixes things without a fuss, that she forgot I'm not a doormat. I head to the kitchen, grab a glass of water, and think about Brooks. He's been calling Ira's office, leaving messages, probably thinking he can bully his way into this. I haven't spoken to him since that smug birthday call when he taunted me about the divorce, and I don't plan to. Still, I did something last week I'm not entirely proud of, though it felt right. I went digging through old Metavolt files, checking for loose ends, and found emails from Brooks to a board member, pushing for insider deals that were more than shady. I didn't hesitate. I sent them anonymously to a contact at the SEC. I don't know what'll come of it, but if he's been playing dirty, he'll face the fallout without me having to say a word. I set the glass down and returned to my desk. Ira's latest email is open. He's prepped for next week's property hearing. Bank statements, the prenup, even security footage from our old building. That last one caught me off guard. Turns out, the cameras caught Selena leaving with Brooks for all those weekend trips she mentioned, long before my birthday. It's not just evidence she was gone, it's proof she was never really there. I'm not feeling vindictive, just done. Like I'm finally seeing clearly. I told Ira I don't want to drag this out. If Selena walks away with nothing but her designer clothes and pride, that's fine by me. She made her choices. I'm done paying for them. My thoughts drift back to Brooks. Industry friends say his real estate deals are crumbling. Word is, the SEC is sniffing around. Maybe it's because of what I sent. Part of me hopes it is. He spent years acting untouchable, treating me like I'd never measure up. But I built something real, and he can't take that from me, no matter how loud he talks. I get up, pacing the loft, the floor creaking beneath my boots. The hearing will be tough, not because I'm afraid of losing, but because I'll have to face her. Maybe him. I don't want to hear their excuses. I just want to move on. I think about the conference coming up, where I'll be presenting the new Metavolt features. That matters. Not because it's flashy, but because it's mine. I stop by the window watching dusk settle over the city. For the first time in years, I feel steady. Let Selena rage. Let Brooks squirm. They don't get to write my story anymore. I return to my desk, pick up my phone, and text Ira. Do what you need to. I'm ready. Then I set the phone down and look around. My loft, my space, my life. Whatever happens at that hearing, I'm walking, out free. I open my laptop, not to work but to look at a photo from my birthday. The one with Miriam and me smiling. I don't need to prove anything to Selena or Brooks. I just want to keep being the man in that photo, the one who's learning to believe in himself again. Months have passed since the divorce was finalized, since Selena walked away with nothing but her bags and a scowl. Tonight I'm hosting a dinner, not for a special occasion, just because I can. The loft glows with warm light and candle flickers. The scent of roasted vegetables and fresh bread fills the air. Music hums softly from a guitarist friend I met at a nearby cafe. The loft feels alive. Ira is here, wine in hand, grinning like he's never seen me this relaxed. Miriam's by the window, chatting and laughing. Local musicians tune their guitars. A neighbor, a painter, tells stories. It's a small group, maybe 10 people, but they're here because they want to be, because they see me, not the version others tried to mold. I glance at the table, nerves fluttering. Not bad nerves, just the kind that means something matters. I think back to last year, an empty birthday, an empty apartment, waiting for people who never came. Now I don't wait, I live. Ira laid everything out at the hearing, the prenup, the footage, the timeline. Selena tried to spin it, said I pushed her away. The judge didn't buy it. She left with what she brought, and I walked out lighter than I've felt in years. Brooks didn't even show. Last I heard, he's dodging the SEC, his empire cracking. But I'm not keeping tabs. That's his world now, not mine. I pour myself a splash of whiskey, the same kind Miriam and I shared on my birthday, and raise my glass. Miriam catches my eye and smiles. She's been a steady presence, a mentor, a friend, someone who reminds me that quiet isn't weak, that building slowly is still building. I think about a letter I once wrote to my family, a letter I never sent, but tonight I want to read it. I step to the center of the room and clear my throat. Hey everyone, I say, voice steady. Thanks for being here. This year's been a lot, and having you all in my life means more than I can say. I wrote something a while ago. I needed to say it, even if just once. No one objects. They nod, listening. I unfold the paper and begin. To my family. I never needed you to be proud. I just needed you to show up. You didn't. And now, neither will I. The words settle into the room like stones in water. No applause, no commentary, just quiet understanding. I fold the letter and tuck it away. Anyway, I say, smiling, let's eat. Laughter breaks the silence. Plates are passed. Conversations resume. I sit beside Miriam and listen to the painter spin another wild story. The food is good, the music better, but it's the warmth that fills me most. At that conference last month, I finally felt like I belonged in the spotlight. I wasn't trying to prove anything, just sharing what I'd built. People listened, and I realized I have something worth saying. I'm not Brooks, and I don't need to be. Later, as I catch my reflection in the window, I don't see the man I was a year ago. I see someone who's still building. Code, yes, but also community. A life. Miriam leans in, her voice low. You did good tonight, Julian. I smile. She's right. This is mine. Messy, real, whole. I raise my glass and we toast to new beginnings. The music keeps going. The candles burn low. And I let myself sink into it. No regrets, no looking back. Just this moment and the promise of more. I wake to birdsong drifting in through my loft window. It's my 39th birthday. The morning light washes across brick walls I've come to love. There's no heaviness, no checking my phone for messages that won't come. I feel grounded. Miriam texts me happy birthday. Ira jokes about getting old. Colleagues send greetings, excited about the next Metavolt update. I sip coffee from the machine I prepped last night and smile. Last year, I was waiting, trapped in a life that wasn't mine. This year, I'm living in one I built from scratch. Miriam lives just a few blocks away now. We've got a rhythm, weekly. Dinners, long walks, quiet talks. She's not family, not by blood, but she's home. Another buzz. A message from a teacher at the school where I sponsor a coding club. A photo, kids beaming behind a banner that reads, "Thank you, Mr. Ross. You made us believe we could build something too." I don't think I've ever smiled this hard. They remind me of me, dreaming in code before anyone understood. I message the teacher back, save the photo, and make a note to ask what more I can do. This is the life I want. Not loud, not flashy. Just real. Selena is gone. Brooks too. My parents sent a bland card months ago. I didn't reply. I don't need them anymore. I've got people who show up. I take my coffee to the window. The river sparkles. The day stretches ahead, wide open. I think I'll take a walk, maybe have dinner with Miriam later. No more waiting, no more wondering. This is my life now, and it's exactly where I'm meant to be.